Hey, it's Lynn Brown. I'm a speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team. I spent the first half of my life people pleasing, and then in my spare time, I was consumed with the opinions of others, which honestly felt like being in prison. But then one day, I was willing to bet on myself. And when I stepped out, I just took one step in the direction of my dreams, things began to change. Since then, I've committed the rest of my life on this big blue rock to becoming the best version of me and partnering with people that want to do the same. I love this time of year, that transition between summer and fall. Teachers and students all over the world are gearing up for another 180 days of school. And I can't help but think, what are they thinking? Are they believing for their best year ever? Are they thinking that it's going to be like last year, be the same old, same song, second verse, a little bit louder and a little bit worse? Just what is it? Is it going to be better? I believe totally that it can be better. Some teachers will be waking up, answering the call in their life as they head into that first day of the new year. Some teachers, on the other hand, will wake up to an alarm, dreading the thought of summer ending. Some are looking forward to those students whose lives they will impact. And then there are probably a few names on the roster that they've seen that might make them get a little nervous. I know I was one of those students. I was the class clown, chatty, just never prepared, always interrupting, disrupting, in the corner a lot. I made my teachers cringe. But I believe that now more than ever before, in our country, in our communities, in our world, that we have got to focus in on connecting. I believe connecting is the key. The great teacher leaders, the gritty teachers, and the gritty parents are the ones that connect with the heart before they ask for a hand. I know, just like, you're facing all the procedures and the handouts and the rules and the regulations and the mission statement and all the standards that have to be reached by certain points in the year. I get that. All that stuff has to be covered in the first few days. But let's not push aside and put aside the necessary steps to begin to create those gritty classrooms from day one. And we all know what to do. It's not that we don't know what to do. It's just fitting it into everything else that we know we have to do. But on day one, just for example, as you introduce yourself, to some of your students for the first time, sharing that special piece of info about you, just introducing yourself to them. Then take a minute, literally take 2 minutes. It's less than 3 minutes, and have them pair and share with someone in the class. It will be uncomfortable for them. Some of them are extremely shy. They're nervous. I get it, but they have to stretch. And if you will set this precedence and lead by example here, then they will begin to mirror what you are doing. And it will be amazing to see this transformation. Now, day two, you have to do that again. Again, it's less than 4 minutes. Honestly, less than 4 minutes. Slow down enough. Tell them something else about you. Maybe your favorite, food or hobby or your best friend growing up. I don't know what that thing is, but share it with them. I do have tips I can send you if you want tips and want ways to connect, questions to ask, and things to say to bring that connection in your classroom. But day two, do it again. You share something, and then take a minute, let them pair and share with a different person the next day. They choose a different classmate. The purpose of this seems so elementary, but it's so profound, because when we begin to build relationships, when we understand what drives people's behavior, and when we understand their stories, we can no longer hate. Now, I know hate is a harsh word to think about using in a classroom, but we know that there is behavior in schools. There's adult behavior in school, and there's student behavior in school that sometimes is less than, optimal. And so these things increase trust and collaboration together. They build friendships and relationships. This drives behavior. It drives the actual academic achievement, and it actually drives their personal behavior. When they can learn from someone they know, like, and trust, and when they can sit beside people that they know, like, and trust in their classrooms, everything changes. So let me ask you this. Who was your favorite teacher? And what do you remember about him or her? I mean, was it something they shared with you, a story they told, maybe a great achievement? Maybe something that an award they were given, or something they accomplished in college, where they went to college. I don't know what the thing was, but what resonated with you? What made them think of them as your favorite teacher? And I get it. I spent 14 years in a school, so I understand that there are standards that have to be met. There are milestones to reach. There's content to cover. There are scores, to be studied. There are students to be moved from one level to the next. I understand, but slowing down just enough, less than 4 minutes, in these classrooms to begin to create this trust and belonging will pay off immensely. Because these classrooms will become courageous places. They will be places that all students belong. These students and faculty will begin to practice gratitude, daily gratitude. They will begin to strengthen in the area of resilience. It's an art, but learning to fail forward into success is critical, because failure is not going anywhere. Failure is a constant companion to success, and these students will be inspired. They will begin to think deeper and critically, and they will become the best versions of themselves. Teaching a gritty mindset it's not difficult, but growing gritty students and gritty classrooms is a daily practice. It's not going to come from the outside. Like, there's not going to be all these shiny binders that someone's going to deliver off of a pallet to your classroom, and you're going to mass produce the lessons and pass them all out and tell everybody to be quiet and let them fill them out and then store them away somewhere in a cute little red folder or whatever. No, it is going to come from within, through those connecting, those small times, those less than 5 minutes, less than 4 minutes connecting pieces. Education itself comes from a Latin word, educo, which means coming from within. It's connecting. It's not going to be new content. It's not something that you need to learn. It's not something that you're lacking. It's all inside. It's inside you and it's inside them. It's returning to that thing that we know to do. And oftentimes the simple things to do are simple not to do. It's just like my weight goal. I need to lose, 20 more pounds of my goal, and I know what to do. Take in fewer calories. I get that. But up until now, I have not achieved my goal. I am intentionally daily working on it daily, and I'm seeing results. You will see these results too. But we all know this isn't rocket science. Growth happens daily, not in a day. It's more than just downloading a poster and hanging it on our door, hoping they're going to just, through osmosis, somehow develop this into a habit. But we need to know, where our students live, when their birthdays are, what they have for breakfast, if they had breakfast, who they live with. What are their dreams? What are their struggles? How do they deal with failure? It really is all about them. And when we do better and when we become better, other people also become better. It's not really looking at what needs to change. Oftentimes we look on the outside, hoping the circumstances will change. If our community wasn't this or that, if we weren't so divided with this or that, or, if the leadership team at the district office was different, or if the Department of Education was different, or if we didn't have to teach this curriculum, whatever the excuse is. The mountains will be moved when we begin to move them in our classrooms. And oftentimes, I talk to school systems and district leaders, and, they're like, well, we pretty much got this. I mean, we're doing good. We're the 99th percentile or whatever, You don't have to be a low-performing school, an average school. But honestly, even the top performers, wherever you are on the scale, whatever got you there is not going to keep you there. And so that question is, how can this be my best year ever? When I know that creating that gritty mindset, the G being for gratitude, and R for resilience, and I for inspiring, T for thinking for yourself and being tough and being you, being an individual. When we begin to do that and just throw our hearts across the line and throw our guts across the line for those students who are walking into our classrooms this 2019-2020 school year, forget about last year. Forget about your favorite class 3 years ago. It's this year. You know, parent participation, that's always a biggie. It might change, it might improve, it might not. But let's look at the possibilities. There are going to be possibilities walking into your room. And are they going to be better because they landed in your room this year? Or will they become worse? You are the leaders. You are gritty teacher, leaders, and administrators. And the highest purpose of a teacher leader is adding value to others. I can't think of a profession that is more important than what you do every day. I mean, you are on the edge. You're dealing with students from all backgrounds, very diverse. And for those students like me that walk into your room, you know what? You're going to have a little bit more energy, I understand, to deal with them, but be as curious with them as you are with those cream of the crop. You know, the top, those all-stars. Because I believe every child is a leader. I believe every person influences someone in some way. So let's grow these gritty classrooms this year. I want to personally thank you for serving and for giving your guts and your heart, for being willing to make the world better. Some of you are buying supplies for your students. Some of you don't have to want for anything in your classrooms. But regardless of that, let's grow gritty classrooms this year. And if you'd like to, send me a message on social. It's Lynn, Lynne Brown. You can email me at lynn@lynnbrown.net. And I will be happy to send you some tips on growing gritty classrooms. It's not going to cost you anything, but it could change everything. So just what if this 2019-2020 was your best year ever? And whether it's your first day as a teacher, you're just starting your career, or whether you've taught for 25 and beyond, just what if? Let's grow gritty mindsets this year. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.